I mean, we've all heard about finding your match online, finding love online. Matching with your vegetable and fruit is completely a new experience.
Why Handpickd is there is because Handpickd has existed for decades.
Indian retail, grocery retail is dominated by the kirana store network. And our insight was, what if we make this kirana store virtual?
When you say lowest cost model, can you explain that in numbers?
So let's say you order on quick commerce, 400-500 rupees order. To the platform, it would typically cost somewhere between 110 to 130 rupees. It costs us 1/3 of that.
We do not pack anything. We are plastic free. Everything is loose. Khulla aata hai, khulla jata hai. You kill wastage, otherwise wastage will kill you.
Large part of Bharat, for large part of their use cases, don't need a 10-minute delivery.
If a Parle G has to come, it's the same Parle G, then I would go for where do I find it cheapest and where do I find it fastest. But if the product is going to be different, then suddenly there's a big difference between a Honda and a Mercedes, right? And then you're willing to wait to customize your Ferrari.
So what do you want to be, Honda, Mercedes or Ferrari? In the food and vegetable world.
We have many essentials. See, for us, it's like
the Ferrari of daily essentials, is it? From a guava chosen to your taste, sweet, crunchy or extra ripe, to bulk groceries delivered at the lowest cost to India's heartland. Two very different models, one common mission: to reinvent how Bharat and India buy their daily essentials. Handpickd, founded in 2024, is building India's first matchmaking platform for fruits and vegetables. No inventory, no warehouses, no dark stores, just a digital mandi at your doorstep. Customers don't just order produce that they want, they design it down to the very last detail, that's sweetness, size and ripeness. In less than a year, Handpickd has scaled to multiple cities, raised $15 million and is now looking at expanding beyond the current cities that it operates in. On the other hand, we have the story of CityMall, which started in 2019. It's taking e-commerce to tier 2 and tier 3 towns in India through the power of community by transforming local shopkeepers and neighborhood leaders into digital kirana stores. It's created one of India's most cost-efficient last-mile distribution networks in the country. Today, CityMall is profitable, clocking nearly 700 crore rupees in revenue and on track to hit the 1,000 crore rupee milestone next year. Hello and welcome to the Young Turks Reloaded podcast. I'm Shereen Bhan, and joining me on the program today are two very different entrepreneurs running two very different businesses, Angad and Anant. Many thanks for joining us here on the Young Turks Reloaded podcast. You know, the reason why we chose to put the two of you together is because while you're addressing the last mile distribution and access problem, you're addressing two different cohorts entirely. You're addressing Bharat and you're addressing India. And I want to understand from the two of you how both your models have evolved and what it takes to serve these two very different markets. Let me start with you, Angad, because the last time that you were on Young Turks was through the COVID period. Yes. And, you know, a lot has changed. We've seen quick commerce arrive and surge. As you look at the way that your vision of democratizing e-commerce was back then and where it is today, what's changed? What's different? What's new for CityMall?
Thank you, Shereen, for inviting me here. Vision hasn't changed. It's remained the same. We are very focused on delivering value essentials at the doorsteps of the end consumers. So the vision has completely remained the same. Hows have evolved a lot. I wouldn't say changed, but it has sort of evolved from one model to another. Today, we are sort of from COVID times.
Yeah.
Those times were very different. Consumers, so the supply chains were completely broken, fragmented. We started with a very different model of having community partners to create demand on one side,
right,
and deliver demand on the other side. So we've pivoted from that model to now community partners exclusively being these very low-cost fulfillment partners for us.
What you call micro entrepreneurs. So break that up for us and explain how the model works to the viewers.
Sure. So think about a micro entrepreneur as, let's say, somebody who does milk delivery in the morning and then does CityMall delivery during the day.
Okay.
It's a local entrepreneur in those same areas and neighborhoods, knows a lot of users or at least the localities that he or she is serving in. And this guy is the backbone of our business. So this micro entrepreneur essentially operates like a digital kirana store
Okay.
without any investment into inventory space and people, practically over his own labor and set of tech tools that we provide to him. So as a model, the way it works is a consumer orders on any given day. We have our warehouses at the back end. We sort, pack by the community partner, ship it to them early in the morning, 6, 7 a.m.
Okay.
Then this guy will do like all the sorting, consumer-wise packing, and the last mile delivery within a very low radius to the end consumers. The reason the micro entrepreneur exists is because
Trust.
it is a trust, and second, it brings down costs significantly. So imagine a supply chain network where you don't have to invest anything in your fixed cost. Everything is variabilized at the last mile level, and everything is moving in a hyper batched fashion. So our warehouses are hyper batched. Nobody in our warehouse knows who the end consumer is and what is the order of the end consumer.
Okay.
Everything is happening by the community partner. So the products move in a hyper batched way, and a last mile network is 100% variabilized with no fixed cost of investment.
And why did you believe that this would be successful? Why did you believe that this would work in an era where, you had, of course, the big boys like Amazon, etc., but then you also had a lot of Indian players entering this space, and they continue to exist in this space as well. So what did you think would be the reason for your right to win?
Yeah. So the insight was, let's think about the offline world. Indian retail, grocery retail is dominated by the kirana store networks. Now, what are these kirana stores? These are basically 300 square feet box, very close to the end consumer, 2 to 3 people manning it, and about 3-4 lakh rupees of inventory. That's what comprises of a kirana store. And these kirana stores are replicated every 200 meters across the geography of India. And our insight was, what if we make this kirana store virtual? You don't have to store inventory very close to the end consumer. That in storage, that is expensive model. So if that kirana store becomes virtual, we would be able to offer a significantly better price to the end consumer. And also for that kirana store or the micro entrepreneur, he doesn't have to make this investment in inventory space and people. So it's basically mapping the offline world into the online world to make it more efficient.
And how many virtual kirana stores are you currently operating? How many micro entrepreneurs do you currently have?
About 7,000-8,000.
7,000-8,000 micro entrepreneurs. And how many cities are you operating in today?
60.
60, but you're very focused on Bharat.
Yes.
While Anant, you're very focused on India. And explain to our viewers the difference between servicing Bharat versus servicing India in the context of what you were able to do with Milkbasket, a company that you founded and then sold to Reliance Retail Ventures and exited in 2021, only to start Handpickd. I mean, we've all heard about finding your match online, finding love online. Matching with your vegetable and fruit is completely a new experience.
Thanks, Shereen, for having me. Yes, it's a very intriguing question, and the way you put it, it becomes even more intriguing. So, again, it's an inspiration from the offline world. It's an inspiration from day-to-day life. What does a mom do when they go and buy fruits or vegetables to the local shop or to the ready wala? They say, okay, I want 3 mangoes because I have kids at home who want a medium-sized mango.
Yeah.
And I want a guava, which is crunchy because my younger one likes crunchy guava. But I also have a parent in the house who wants a soft guava. So they will buy 2 crunchy guavas and 3 yellow guavas.
Right.
Now, let's take a step back. 10 years ago, that's what's happening. Today also that's happening. You go online and suddenly what you will have to do is buy a pack of 4 guavas or 1 kg guava. And there is no way that you know that it's going to come ripe or green or extra green. It depends on the batch and some random logic of what we call standard quality in fruits and vegetables. So why Handpickd is there is because Handpickd has existed for decades.
Yeah.
It's each mom, each father doing it for their kids, for their family on a daily basis. That's what we used to do when we used to go to mandi. People used to buy. And I can guarantee you, if 3 of us go to a fruit vendor today and you'll buy mangoes, I'll buy mango. And
I can't buy mangoes because I'm allergic to mangoes, but
let's buy papayas. Let's buy papayas.
Yeah.
Let's pick up apples. Your apples would be different from mine.
yeah.
So we said every family is unique, so is their F&B. Now, and when we look at supply chains that have been created or what we have been doing online, the question was, why are people not adapting to F&B? Why another internal quote, and I quote a lot of them, is like, why everybody is selling but nobody's buying? And the reason is because we are selling a standard product in a standard quantity.
Yeah. So you're actually solving for choice.
We are solving for preference. We are solving for the fact that a family, when an individual in a family buys a fruit or a vegetable, it depends on who is going to eat, when are they going to eat, and how are they going to eat. Think about grapes. Think about mango. Think about papaya. People buy papaya. If they go to market, they buy 2 papaya. One they want to eat today, one they want to eat tomorrow.
Correct.
So one would be good ripe, one would be semi-ripe. Try buying it online, and I'm sorry, you cannot. So it's not that people don't want to buy online. See, having done Milkbasket, the core thought process is very simple. We are going to become lazy. It depends on who makes us the laziest. We are humans. We tend towards the path of least resistance.
Correct.
So why am I taking so much pain to go out? Why a 70-year-old auntie is going to the shop while knees are hurting, but still going and handpicking their mooli for paranthas and their mangoes and their vegetables? It's because they have not been provided what they wanted at home. We said we will do that. And literally it started like that. We launched on WhatsApp last year without any app.
That's a big common feature for the two of you, because your model was also largely WhatsApp driven and WhatsApp based, right?
Yeah.
Before you pivoted.
Yes.
Yeah. And for us, it was never, and we started in Gurgaon. It was a educated society. Everybody has like 70% of our users have an iPhone. So just from a contrast perspective, but we said we do WhatsApp. The reason is because we said, okay, we'll give us an order will come. And the first thing we did was we looked at the products and we went back to the customer saying that you have ordered mangoes. Do you want ripe, semi-ripe, medium or large? And for the first time they said, oh, give me 2 medium and one of them should be ripe, one of them should be semi-ripe. And that was the moment of Eureka, where customers demanded because somebody asked. Otherwise, it's like, okay, we'll order, somebody will come. There was this consistency thing that was going on. And so many people that I have talked to, they said, the problem with this industry, F&B industry, is that today I'm happy with what I get. Tomorrow I'm not happy with what I get. Then 3 days later, I'm happy. Then 4 days later, I'm frustrated. And I told them, it's not because somebody is screwing up the supply chain. And I've done that at 7 years in Milkbasket. We will have a standard SKU, standard quantity. वो इतना ही round होना चाहिए. It should be, this color of guava, light green, light yellow, because that's the best guava.
Yeah.
The problem is that the family need of every instance of buying is different.
Yeah.
So you're not getting frustrated with what's coming. You're getting frustrated that your need was different that day.
Yeah.
And nobody was asking you.
But that begs the question of how do you do this at scale? Because how do you provide, a business model that operates to each family's preference, each family's choice, but do it at scale? Doing it in Gurgaon and 2 other cities is one thing. How do you create the back end to be able to service for this kind of choice and preference?
So it can be done. And I think this is a question that was asked to me in 2016.
By an investor.
By an investor for Milkbasket. Yes, you deliver 500 orders every morning before 7 o'clock. Can you do it at scale? So I have done it at 50,000 and 100,000 also every morning before 7 o'clock. And I can tell you that supply chains can be created for that. So it's like, it's doable.
It's doable.
It's doable.
It's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. See, rocket science in our business is doing the same thing again and again. And there could be 1,000 things that can change on a daily basis, and keeping track of them and being very diligent about it. And I'm not saying that we do not have an error or we do not have customer complaints. There would be. There is a human error.
Yeah.
There's a process error.
Sure.
There's an availability problem. These things will come. But can it be done? Yes, it can be done. So a very simple thing that we talk about in business is in 2 years, we want to be the local guy who knows 1 million families on the tip of their tongue to say, Mehta ji, aapke like mango nahi hai, कि जब आएगा भिजवा देंगे. I need to know my customers at that level.
Handpickd से भिजवा देंगे.
Handpickd से भिजवा देंगे. I need to know my customers at that level, that I know their family preference of what is meri wali quality at mere wala price.
And by mere wala tech, obviously, because this is not something that's happening, in person.
Yeah.
I think that's where the technology sort of plays a big role.
Exactly.
Yeah. So technology can help scale an existing process, A, and B, it can help predict what a user would ask for next. And in both these cases, technology can sort of really help sort of build that scale, operate that model at a much higher scale.
So let's just talk about scale for a second, because you've just started. 2024 is when you started Handpickd, but you've got the experience of running Milkbasket and scaling that up for 7 years. Let's talk about scale at CityMall and what you've been able to do now with micro entrepreneurs as well as the use of technology. What's been the biggest challenge of scaling up, and how did you address that as you made the many pivots that you've made?
Yeah. So our biggest challenge in scaling has been to manage the trade-off between building a supply chain that's super efficient at a super low cost and providing reliability to the end consumer. That every order at this particular, so what we promise is what we deliver. So that trade-off around cost and reliability has been the biggest challenge for us across, all these years. And that's where we realized that the best friend that you have in such a situation is technology. You cannot do this at scale, at that cost, at a certain reliability levels
without technology.
Yeah, and that's been our sort of biggest, if you ask me, what's the mode of CityMall? It is not just the lowest cost model, but lowest cost model with a high reliability to the end consumer. That's what defines us.
When you say lowest cost model, can you explain that in numbers? Can you quantify that for us? I mean, I understand that there might be competitive reasons why you wouldn't want to share it to the last detail, but give us some idea when we talk about the lowest cost model, what does that mean?
So Shereen, so if you order, let's say, a 400-500 rupees order on...
Which is the typical average order size for you? Yeah.
For us, for most of the other people, actually. So let's say you order on quick commerce, 400-500 rupees order. To the platform, it would typically cost somewhere between 110 to 130 rupees to deliver to the end consumer.
Okay.
At their doorstep. If you place an order on a typical e-commerce company, I'm talking about a grocery order, not the packets. It would typically cost about 140-150 rupees for other e-commerce companies. It costs us 1/3 of that.
Okay.
So our supply chain cost is 1/3 of what you would find on other grocery.
Why and how?
2 reasons. One is we are extremely hyper batched. So we are not promising 10-minute quick deliveries. Right?
No.
We are promising next day delivery. So that gives us time to batch all the orders in our supply chain and then ship it to the end consumer. So if you think about where the largest cost comes in, the largest cost in a grocery model is the cost of transportation from one point to another. Now, if you are moving your goods in batches as deep in the supply chain as possible, by the way, this is what happens in the offline world, your cost comes out to be the lowest. So batching helps a lot. Second thing is our entire last mile network is variabilized. So for all the peaks and troughs on today the demand is high, tomorrow the demand is low, you end up incurring a lot of fixed costs that goes unutilized. For us, the entire last mile is variabilized. So the variable last mile delivery network through the community partners A and the hyper batched way of moving products from point A till very close to the end consumer is what brings the cost down.
And you're saying that at this point in time, the consumer in Bharat is not that concerned about quick delivery. They can wait for 24 hours. What they are more concerned about is price and choice, and convenience perhaps is at the lower end of what they expect from a service, correct?
Yeah. So yes, absolutely. What our consumers really want is they want the best value essentials. And when I say value, there's a trade-off between price and quality. Delivered at home. Delivery at home is in itself a big convenience. Just imagine, like Anant mentioned, 70-year-old lady taking 30, going to a supermarket or a wholesale market, carrying 30 kgs of ration. It's super inconvenient.
Yeah.
So just delivering them to their doorsteps and giving them the best value is what Bharat really needs. They don't, large part of Bharat, for large part of their use cases, don't need a 10-minute delivery.
They don't need a 10-minute delivery. How different is the Bharat that Angad is servicing from the India that you are servicing, Anant?
So I think I bring it down to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
We are all human.
Yes.
And I think as I remember, I think Jeff Bezos put it together. It's like faster, cheaper, better. And there is always a trade-off between faster, cheaper, and better. So if you are giving me the same product, I would like it to be the fastest and the cheapest. But the moment you put the fulcrum on the better.
Better, yeah.
And now better could be a definition of fresh. Better could be a definition of made recently, picked recently, sorted recently, or it could be the food, means across everything. Then we are a product-based economy, and better, cheaper, and faster goes for a toss, and better comes at the top. Now, better could be value for money in case of Bharat, and better could be the choice and
preference.
So, means I have so many customers who still would say that, can you get me a peti of Alfonso's from Ratnagiri, from this particular farm? We'll wait for a week. Means you're talking about fast. Yeah. They're willing to wait for a week, and have so many customers.
Because they're very clear about what they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that better definition is where we believe the trade-off is. So trade-offs are important. You cannot do all the three. So if it's the same, as a normal thing, I say, if a Parle G has to come, it's the same Parle G, because Parle G is, there's a Parle behind it, and who's saying that, or if a Head and Shoulder has to come, or if a surf has to come, it's the same surf. Then I would go for where do I find it cheapest and where do I find it fastest, depending on the preference. But if the product is going to be different, then suddenly there's a big difference between a Honda and a Mercedes, right? And then you're willing to wait to customize your Ferrari. Means just to the extent that people are willing to wait. There is no hurry.
So what do you want to be, Honda, Mercedes, or Ferrari? In the food and vegetable world.
We have many essentials. See, for us, it's like
the Ferrari of daily essentials, is it?
It's not the Ferrari. No way. You cannot say it Ferrari. Though, see, we have customers who spend north of 30,000 rupees on fruits and vegetables in a month.
North of 30,000 rupees.
North of 30,000 rupees. A single family.
Yeah.
On Handpickd. And we only sell fruits and vegetables.
Right.
We don't have any grocery. We don't have any GST product. We are zero GST. Right? Only
the smile on his face when he says that we are zero GST. The smile.
I got it.
No, it reduces so much paperwork because you are a zero GST platform. Yeah. But see, at the end of the day, everybody wants to eat fresh bindi. Everybody wants to have an aubergine, and it would be at the price where you feel comfortable buying. And then there would be families who would go for avocados on a daily basis in breakfast, and dragon fruits, and want celeries and want super greens. So there is a spectrum.
Yeah.
And within that spectrum, we want to serve everyone. So we say that we are a mass premium. We are not the Ferrari. We are not even the Mercedes. We are a good, comfortable, but the quality is good of whatever you buy. So it would be a good bhindi, and bhindi is eaten by everyone. If everyone...
I'm not so sure about that, but... No, but setting up the back end to be able to supply the Alfonsos from Ratnagiri, for which people are willing to wait for a month, or then being able to say, okay, in your cart, you want 2 ripe guavas and 2 unripe guavas, 3 yellow mangoes or whatever. I mean, it sounds complex.
Sounds challenging, right?
It sounds complex.
Yeah.
So explain to us how this actually works at the back end.
So see, what helps is that there are 2 things about it. One is that how do you look at a product? So are you saying mango Alfonso is a product, or are you saying mango Alfonso medium ripe is a product for you? If you split mango Alfonso, there are possibly 3 into 3, 9 combinations. That's what we took for a particular product.
Wow. Okay.
It could be small, medium, large. It could be ripe, semi-ripe, raw. So you multiply 3 by 3, it's a 9 matrix. Now there are 180 fruits and vegetables which are live at any point of time in India, in any region.
Okay.
So you multiply 180 by 9. And that's the maximum number of products you can have. We call it SKU, stock keeping unit in the FMCG world. Now, so basically you're looking at 1800 products on a very high level. but everything would not have a 9 factor, I think you're looking at 800, 900 products. Now, if somebody has done a supply chain of handling 17,000 products, you're only dealing with 900
Yeah, so
or
suddenly
800.
it doesn't look that complex.
It doesn't look complex, right? Now, the question is, how do you convert them? And that's where tech comes in. That every demand from a customer. So, for example, we had a customer who says, extra ripe pear for my infant. And we actually delivered extra ripe pear for the infant next day. And she was so happy. Now, every product that comes in, we create an individual SKU out of that. And once we see a demand, particular demand search for that particular product, we create a separate code for it.
Okay.
So everything is still coded. So these products get converted into codes. These codes get translated to the procurement team. And now they know that they have to buy, let's say, hyper batching. We also do hyper batching in the background, where procurement team will go and buy 100 kg guavas. And out of that, they will then select 40 kg ripe guavas and 60 kg crunchy guavas.
Depending on what you're getting in terms of the orders.
Yeah. And this is live buying. So the good thing is, because of the model, we created for something else, but we ended up with this, that the choice that we get of picking, we don't have to compromise on sending the bad thing or sending the wrong thing. We don't have any leftovers. We buy exact quantities. And we keep some buffers for our supply chain losses, moisture losses, handling losses, logistics losses, pothole losses. When something is going to bump with each other. And based on that, we run the entire supply chain on zero stock. So we have infinite stock as of now. But we have to, like right now we have 7 facilities. All our facilities will not have any fresh product. If you go to any other e-commerce today, all their warehouses would be stocked with product right now. Our product right now is in the field. It's being plugged by the farmer. So if you imagine that, this farmer plugs all day. At 7 p.m., they finish the plucking, they load the trucks, and it moves to the city. So from Solan, from Alwar, from Moradabad, depending on the belt, from Sonipat, these products are moving towards the city. Once they come to Delhi, we buy it from the farmer, and they can only enter the city at 10 p.m. because that's when Delhi allows trucks to enter. So by the time they enter, we finish taking our orders. We buy directly from them. And then our process starts. Our process starts at 11 in the night and finishes at 9 in the morning. So 11 to 3, we buy, we sort, we grade. 3 o'clock, we dispatch to our city centers. At city centers, individual orders are created. And we have created a very unique thought process that we do not pack anything. We are plastic free. We do not create any product on any packet. No half kg mindis, no 1 kg mindis, no 4 kg packs, no 4 pieces packs. Everything is loose. Khulla aata hai, khulla jata hai. Simple. And Angad is a customer.
So, but this business of khulla aata hai, khulla jata hai, did it take a while for you as a customer to get used to the idea?
Yeah, I think 2 things took a while. One is understanding Anant's app, if you've seen the interface. And the other one was, I woke up early in the morning, opened my door, I saw like a crate.
Yeah, a tray. We call it a tray.
Like a tray. And khulla saman there. And it was very surprising.
Because you're so used to things coming to you packed and, the feeling
packed in plastic with all the microplastics.
Packed in plastic, but there is a feeling of it being, clean, sanitized, so on and so forth and whatever. So the idea of getting khulla
and Anand didn't mention it, but it's highly cost effective too.
I would imagine, but I'm saying that it will take a while for the customer to imagine the way that you actually grocery shopped online.
I would say customers like it. For the first time, they're buying the product and receiving the product that they would in the local world. See, India is the only APMC, possibly in the semi-developed world. You look at China, you look at Japan, you look at Europe, all the APMCs, they have started packing at an APMC level, which means their local
people
grocery
who are watching, APMC is essentially the Agricultural Produce Marketing Committees. So essentially what happens on the back end as far as mandis are concerned, that's what Anant is talking about.
So in all these countries, if you look at one step behind, they are creating packets at a aggregated level. So even if you go to your local shop, you will have to buy a packet. In India, we are very unique where we go to the local shop and buy loose. We handpick. Whereas when we are transformed into a packet, we are forced to buy in bulk. And typically, as an FMCG guy,
Yeah.
what you would do is like, चल एक थोड़ा सा छोटा डाल देते हैं. Because who's going to waste it, right?
Yeah.
So you do that.
Yeah.
And you do that with weight variance also,
Right.
to understand
Yeah.
the multiple things that happen.
There are multiple
Yeah.
things. But, let's talk about how preferences of consumers are changing in Bharat. What are you picking up as emerging trends? Where are people spending their money? What are people now aspiring to experiment and try out with beyond just the daily essentials? What's the data telling you?
So
Yeah.
did you sell any iPhone 17s?
Lots of them. Just kidding. So it's actually very
Maybe
surprising.
at some point, maybe
Someday,
you will.
yes.
Why not?
Why not? So it's very surprising. I recently looked at what are our users searching, and I was super surprised. There are searches, lots of searches around Korean noodles.
Okay.
I never thought Bharat. So Korean noodles is a rage in Bharat.
Okay.
There are sort of searches around all the aspirational sauces, peanut butters, a lot of searches around that. So what we took away from there is that value doesn't mean that you are not aspirational about
Correct.
it. There is a lot of aspiration. We in fact deep dived and understood where this behavior is coming from. And this is actually content. Content is so homogenized. Everybody is watching the same content.
Yeah, Instagram and YouTube.
And all the
Shorts and-
Korean dramas and all of that.
K-pops.
So yeah, K dramas. So content is creating aspiration.
and demand.
And demand. Aspiration is creating demand. Supply chain and fulfillment models are failing it. That's what our biggest, because it takes a lot of time to actually build the fulfillment and supply chain to meet those aspirations and hence those demands. And that's where we see a huge opportunity. Our consumers in Bharat, they are extremely aspirational. They are wanting to try newer and newer products. The supply chains are actually failing them.
Supply chains are failing them, but has the cart size gone up significantly since the time that you started CityMall?
Cart size have gone up almost by 30% since we started. But cart size is like a tricky problem to solve.
Okay.
What happens is, imagine a household earning 20,000 rupees per month. About 8 to 10,000 rupees is home rental. Then there are, kids' education, etc., etc. So they are almost always low on wallet balances. And low wallet balances actually create those low order values or order sizes for us. So being very particular about what the cart size is being driven by the household income and the disposable income, while the aspirations are there, but the average ticket size at which they are buying is extremely sticky. We see it as a good thing. It creates a huge opportunity for us.
Okay.
Because we have our moat is in supply chain and supply chain cost. We are able to deliver those 400, 500 rupee cart sizes profitably, and no other supply chain that operates at 150 rupees per order will never be able to sort of address those low cart sizes. So it's a huge opportunity for us. Low cart sizes, low average order values are good for us.
They're good for you, which
Yes.
which almost seems counterintuitive in many ways. But you're also now getting into things like private labels, etc., right? So
Yes.
so you can then not just control the supply chain, but you in fact put your own stuff onto
Yeah.
shelves in the supply chain.
Yeah.
And how's that working for you?
Very good. I think it's the fastest growing category for us.
What all are you doing currently under your private label brands?
Everything. From staples to sauces to toilet cleaners and everything that you can think about in between. So we are going very heavy, very aggressive on our private label portfolio. And it is being driven by, we are working consumer backwards.
Right.
For us, consumer wants best value delivered at home. Now, if in order to give the best value, if we have to go even deeper in our supply chain to build those private labels and transfer that value to the end consumers, we will do that. So we think about ourselves, Shereen, like a low-cost distribution pipe with lowest cost products and product categories, stacked vertically. And all those categories are then sort of flowing through that distribution pipe. So our job is very simple. We've already created this lowest cost distribution pipe. Now we are building lowest cost product categories either through private labels or partnering with small regional brands and manufacturers. So going very deep in our supply.
Okay, so, we got some math in terms of how many SKUs he's having to deal with. How many are you dealing with both on the private label side as well as, carrying everything else from everybody else today?
10,000.
10,000. And
Yes.
what's the aspiration? What do you believe that number could potentially look like a few years on?
We'll go as high as 25, 30,000.
And are there any boundaries to what you will not do? He's very clear. He's only in the F&B space. Have you set any boundaries for yourself on what you will not do?
No. So we are, again, working backwards from value essential, deliver at home. We've tried F&B a couple of times.
And given up?
Not given up. We've halted it.
Halted?
Yes. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of that
Yeah.
from many people
From
over the last
many
10
people.
years.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, we're not saying no to anything. As long as we've created this low cost distribution pipe and anything that we can manage reliably to the end consumer, we'll do.
And let's talk about fundraising. You've recently raised funds, enough to further and fuel the growth aspirations that you currently have.
Yeah. So we are growing 2x year on year. We'll continue to do that. And we'll soon hit company level profitability as we sort of grow 2x. So we are well capitalized.
You started with how much, and where are you today in terms of revenue?
We started with 0. Today,
What was the first check that came your way?
our first raise was 2 crores.
Okay.
And our last round was 47 million.
2 crores to 47 million, and the aspiration of hitting 1,000 crore rupees in revenue next year.
We've already crossed that.
You've already crossed 1,000 crore rupees in revenue. What's been the most exciting part of going from 0 to 2 to 47 million to 1,000 crores?
I think just understanding the users, how users are evolving, actually understanding that need of how the equation around price, choice, and convenience works. And recalibrating ourselves every quarter that, hey, we need to do this more, that more. So this process of recalibrating, sometimes pivoting, has been the toughest and the most exciting part.
And did you think while you were studying here in IIT Delhi that this is what you were going to end up doing?
No, not in my dreams.
Not.
Yeah, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, but
I mean, you could have continued with sports because you were a national level table tennis player, but you
Yes.
had to give up on that aspiration for IIT Delhi.
Yes.
And then you went through the same consulting route and so on and so forth, but realized that was not for you. So
Yeah.
in hindsight, it worked out well. But while you were going through that process, what was the biggest fear
well,
of making that pivot?
While I was making that pivot, it was just the uncertainty of whether. So when I started, it was like, okay, yeah, we've done a few things in my life, and I'll do this too. But I've had 3 failed entrepreneurial stints before CityMall. 2-3 years into it, I totally realized that this is not easy. It's gonna take a lot of time, sacrifice. But yes, the common denominator there was. That entire journey I was really enjoying, while I was not, in technical terms, making progress, but I was enjoying the process.
While you weren't making it, you were still enjoying the journey.
I was enjoying the process a lot.
Yeah.
And that was actually not true while I was going through that.
Consulting
Academic and
and
consulting.
yeah, I would imagine. And what has it been like for you? I mean, you've also had a bunch of ventures before you did Milkbasket and now, of course, Handpickd.
Yeah.
What's been the most exciting part about this journey? And what have you learned, more importantly, from the setbacks? Because both of you have had plenty.
So yeah, I had 2 failed startups before I did Milkbasket.
Competing with each other now.
Competing with
One of
each other. So no, my third was successful. Hopefully, I don't know. But I think every time you do something, and especially from the 7 years of Milkbasket, what I have and I personally look at very closely is a big list of not to do's. Because I think as an entrepreneur, we do things, we fail, we fail. And every time you do things, you would spend your time and resources. having a list of not to do's to me is more important because every business is so unique. So we are building an F&B supply chain from scratch, like where I had, huge warehouses, like 100,000 square feet warehouses, which we were managing, where there were 200 women packing fruits and vegetables into 1 kg, half kg packets all throughout the day, because then we had to supply it next morning, to having zero inventory and everything in transit. It's like you buy the product at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the night, and everything is empty at 9 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, literally there's nobody. So somebody wanted to visit. They said, we'll come at 11. I said, come, but the shutters would be down and nobody would be there, right? Nothing would be there. Now, these are all new learnings, but the not to do list remains the same. It's like,
what is the not to do list?
I think not to take shortcuts is big thing. Not to feel, they say customer is forgiving, but customer is not forgiving. It's always easy to acquire a customer than to reacquire a customer.
Yeah.
So try to do, obviously you do wrong things and some things happen. You try to proactively do that. Again, not to do is like not to ignore the customer care. Bring us. So I would say, like, I used to be ops first before growth. Now I am customer care first. So first customer care, then ops, then growth. It's like build in that way. You might seem to be slow, but you would be steady. Your money goes much longer if you do that way, because suddenly the spillage that you are having are much less.
Yeah.
And again, it's a perspective of how your investors and you think. And I think investors also self-select you. It's like investors don't self-select us for or select us for doing stupid things and growing no matter what consequence. So the best thing is, like, when one of my investor calls me, it's like, hey, met 2 happy Handpickd customers today. I was like, good. Your day is made, my day is made. Let's move forward. If you do that, we are society, we are connected world. Why do you have to spend money on digital marketing? Like, we have not spent a single dollar on digital marketing till date.
Really?
Yeah. And we are decently big. Means we have delivered over 100,000 orders in the month of September only. And the aspiration is that we should be doing it on a daily basis in, I would say, 18 to 24 months. So that's where we are in terms of our growth journey, hopefully. But 100,000 orders in a month, and starting from zero, and 100,000 orders on a daily basis, it doesn't have to come from your marketing spends. It can just come from people realizing that you get the good quality, and this is something I want to buy daily.
Give people a reason to buy. That's
give people a reason to be lazy, and give them. It's like you change a channel, right, on Netflix.
Yeah.
And you wanted to see a Hindi movie and it plays a Marathi movie.
Yeah.
It's like I ordered guava and it came like that I cannot eat. Or I ordered avocado which I wanted to make for salad.
Yeah.
But suddenly I realized that for 2 days you can't do anything with it. And that's what's happening in F&B world and online.
Right.
Just correct that. What I ask them what they want, give them what they want. You are there to stay. Like, all of us are
Is there money
so
to
dependent.
the question, as you said, that many people have tried, many people have failed, many people have halted, including your co-partner sitting over here. But is there money to be made in this business?
For the right reasons, there is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me where you started, where you are, and where do you hope you will be in numbers.
So we all started at zero. And then this year we closed, the last financial year we closed at around 8 CR in terms of yearly revenue. And we were just trying to figure out and fine tune the model.
Yeah.
Now that's a number that we are approaching on a monthly basis very soon. So growing around 20 to 25% month over month within the 3 cities that we operate in. And we just want to be in these 3 cities at least for the next 6 to 9 months. There is no plan for expansion.
Okay. How capital intensive is this business?
It's not.
It's not?
It's not. Your capex is very, very low because, again, you have put everything in transit. You are operating in a high margin business. So the industry margin for fruit and vegetable as a category is anywhere between 40 to 50%.
That high?
That high.
Okay.
Yeah. The problem in the industry is the wastage. Every player in this industry, from your local mom and pop shop to every F&B player in e-commerce world, they all have a wastage of 15 to 20%. I have not seen a supply chain which works on forecasting, buying a stock, then waiting for a customer to order spinach. And suddenly you realize that you had 10 kilo spinach and you only got orders for 8 kg. What do you do with the 2 kg?
Yeah.
There's a big myth in the industry that you can sell it to B2B, but it doesn't work. And we have seen at scale it doesn't work. You have to just take it as a wastage.
I think the common thing between the two models, or at least the two markets, is that it's extremely high LTV. Because
LTVs are amazing.
Are amazing. Users are going to come and buy.
Please de-jargonize for everyone who's watching.
All right. LTV is lifetime value of a consumer.
Yes.
And I say it like, customer is going to stay with you unless you screw it up.
Yeah.
So it's for you because they are going to buy. They're just not buying from you. And it's not that you're creating new demand. Means I don't know how peanut butter and Korean noodles are working.
Demand it is.
They are going to buy from somewhere. It's a channel.
Yeah.
So they just have to rely on you as a channel. They're going to watch the same movie. It's whether going to the theater or on OTT. It's they're going to buy the fruit. They're going to buy atta. They're going to buy oil. It's
are they going to buy it from you? Yeah.
Either they buy from you or not.
So I mean, it's a market where users are ready. They're going to buy multiple times every month. Almost 30% of what the users spend as a household is happening on grocery, fruits, vegetables as a category, like combined as a category. Almost 30 to 40%.
Even more in Bharat, I would say.
Bharat is around 30-35% just grocery. So it's an extremely high lifetime value category. If you are able to, and when the lifetime value of a category is such, how much you spend to acquire or build that infrastructure doesn't matter. Because just that it's going to, so we've been buying from, let's say, Amazon for years, right? Now, Amazon would have spent a certain number of, dollars to acquire us, to build that infrastructure out, but it's more than paid out for it. Because it's such a sticky category. And that's unique about both grocery as well as fresh food.
So, is it also low on capital for you now that you've built out the distribution, you built out your pipes, and how much did it take for you to build out the pipes?
So it took us time to figure out what the pipe is. But now that we know exactly how the pipe is going to look like, how the infrastructure is going to look like, it more than paybacks for the user that we are sort of acquiring within 12 to 15 months is where we get our money back from the user.
I remember you.
So our payback is 6 to 9 weeks.
6 to 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
So that's why you don't need money. Like as compared to Milkbasket, when I compare, it's very, very different. As long as the core is that, can you control wastage? Because again, my co-founder says it, you kill wastage, otherwise wastage will kill you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. You kill wastage or wastage will kill you. That's a good one. But I remember you saying this. And for those of you who don't know, you used to work at Gallup and you borrowed this from Gallup, where you poll people to say, what is the one thing that you cannot live without?
Yes.
So is that what's driven the idea of Handpickd? You want Handpickd to be the one service that people cannot live without?
Yeah. So when we do brand study and we look at the affinity of a brand, it starts with the very basic. It's like, do I trust the brand? Does the brand treat me fairly?
Yeah.
In case of an issue, would it be resolved? The epitome of the brand prophecy is, I cannot imagine a world without.
Yeah.
Those are the exact words.
Yeah.
And when MRI studies are done, there are brands which appear in the brain scan. When you talk about a brand, a particular lobe of a brain lights up.
Really?
Yeah. These are real scientific studies where people say, I cannot imagine a world without. And at least in Milkbasket, I can tell you, I have asked this question in conversations where people said, I cannot imagine a world without Milkbasket. And the epitome of success to me of any brand is, I cannot imagine a world without Handpickd. And we are just striving for that.
So outside of Milkbasket and Handpickd, what can you not imagine a world without? What is that one brand that you can't imagine a world without?
So Apple could be one of them, if I think about it. Or and this also changes, like a particular shoe brand that you like, comfortable and works with your feet, suddenly becomes a brand that you don't want to live without. And who else could be? For me personally, Hyatt is another brand.
Okay.
Yeah, and during my consulting days, I just used to
Live
be
there.
at Hyatt. Yeah.
Live out of the Hyatt.
I used to be a shameless platinum member for decades. Even after I left consulting, I still have points from my 15-year-old consulting days.
Yeah.
So Hyatt is a brand I cannot live without. I almost always vacation with Hyatt
Okay.
because of that. So yeah, there are a few brands which have taken that position.
Is that the aspiration for CityMall as well? To create something that people cannot imagine their world without?
Absolutely. So when we think about CityMall, we think about 10, 15 years out, what is inevitable? Inevitable is that everybody is going to buy groceries, value essentials online. And we want to be that platform. And because it is value essentials and such an important thing for them as a household, that's definitely the aspiration.
And what can you not imagine your world without? Is there one brand that you
So
cannot
while you were asking me, I was thinking,
He got extra time. That's unfair.
yeah, what if I have to think about it? I think Garmin, maybe.
Garmin?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the one thing that you cannot imagine your life without.
Yeah.
Okay. And two other founders who are looking at pivoting, who are looking at new businesses, or to people who haven't started up yet, the one thing that each one of you would like to leave them with on the back of your own experiences and your own journeys. I'll start with you. Or should I start with him and give you extra time?
give me-
Okay. I'll start with you, Angad. I'll give you extra time.
All right, I'll start. I think be very nimble, almost certain that you are going to make the wrong choices, but be nimble enough to change them to figure out the right path.
Okay, be nimble and acknowledge your mistakes and look at learning from them.
Yes.
That's your piece of advice to
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. Anand?
For me, I think it would be authentic to yourself, to your idea. We all say ideas are worth a penny, it's an execution. So when you take decisions, and this is something that has helped me a lot during my ups and downs of last 10, 15 years of journey, is I say it in Hindi very clearly.
Please.
Yeah. Like suno sabki aur karo man ki. It's like as an entrepreneur, you listen from your tech team, from your product team, from your co-founders, from your investors. But at the end of the day, you have to take an action, what you like and what you can live with, what you can sleep with. And you are the only one who would be standing there being responsible, because everybody will say, I told you so, but you are the founder. And I have heard that so many times. So I realized it the hard way. It's like everybody's just going to give you advice because they think it's the right thing. But it's your life, which is like you're putting everything in one basket.
You have to face the music at the end of the day.
You have to face the music, and you have to sleep at night with your own decisions. So that's what I started doing. Obviously, considering everything, is like, okay, we are going to do, because at the end of the day, we would be the ones facing those repercussions of good or bad decisions. So we have to live with our own decisions. We cannot blame someone later on that, oh, you told me so, that's why I did so. So I think it's not accountability, it's more of responsibility to yourself, to your family, to your kids, or to your parents, depending on what position of life you are in. To say that, you're making your own decisions. It's like an investment. Shares can go up and down, but you took a call to buy something. You cannot blame someone else for that.
Yes. And I think that's a great piece of advice from the both of you. Suno sabki, karo man ki, and while you're at it, be nimble, agile, and anticipate change if possible, and change with the changing times as fast as you possibly can, while being true to yourself. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to the two of you. Thanks very much for your time, and we wish you the very best of luck as you grow Handpickd and as you grow CityMall. And we look forward to hearing more from you on where these two companies are going to be 5 years on. But thanks very much for joining us here on Young Turks.
Thank you so much for having us.
No, it's wonderful to speak with you. With that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of the Young Turks Reloaded podcast from all of us here on the show. Thanks very much for watching. You watched two entrepreneurs on the show today. If you liked hearing from them, send us your feedback and tell us who you'd like to hear from next. Goodbye, and thanks very much for watching.